Hey everybody, good morning. This is Jean. I'm in my front room. I just wanted to share this with you. I had shown you in a show and tell, my quilt show and tell, some pictures of my my bookshelf quilt. Well, I just wanted to show you some of the details because I've just sold my quilt. It was for sale in my little Etsy shop, and I'm pleased that I sold it. But actually, it's one of my favorite quilts. I'll just have to make another one. And I just thought, oh, before I let it go, before I put it in the box and ship it out, I just want to take some pictures of it and share with you because I've gotten so many nice comments of how, you know, pretty cool this quilt was. I just wanted to show you how I actually had done it. I was saying before these were just strips of black. They weren't. I completely forgot that. I mean, that was just one whole black piece of fabric. It wasn't. It was strips. For each shelf, this one was about 12, 14 inches high, the black. Just one piece of black. And then I just started sewing with seams this brown wood look for the shelves. Now this one here, actually, I inserted into the seam here, I inserted this lace. So these are seamed, my shelves. As you can see, I used the wood grain looking fabric in a vertical. So I just took strips of black and then punctuated it with seamed strips of wood looking fabric, inserting my lace doilies, my lace hankies into that seam. So I started constructing the black and the wood just with strips really, inserting this bit of old lace that I had. And then I did how many shelves? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves. And then what I did, after I had made the body of the quilt, the black and the brown shelving, before I put the sides on it, I actually started, I had, as I was saying to you, I had been collecting novelty fabric. And as you know, I've always said I let the fabric do the work. And I have these teapots and teacups and books. I had this teddy, oh, for ages, for absolute ages. And what I did is I just raw edge appliqued. I cut her out, and all of the images are raw edge appliqued, just with a free motion quilting stitch. You don't need all these little cupcakes. They were printed, those cupcakes were printed on a black background fabric. So I just cut out the black background fabric. Maybe you can see that around the cupcakes, about an 1/8 of an inch or so. And then just raw edge applique the black fabric on. All sorts of novelty images, if you can see that. Now also, I wanted to show you, I have a ton of these fruit and veg print fabrics. There is an actual pattern called the jar pattern that you actually piece this jar. I just cut them out. I don't know if it looks like a jar or not. Yeah, it does. And then I just stuck a hunk of the red gingham on it to make it look like a pantry shelves. And again, I had been collecting little china plate here. I had been collecting these fabrics for ages. I think you can still get them. Oh, and you can look on eBay, on Etsy, or even at Joann Fabrics or your fabric store to look for novelty fabrics that have fabulous images. I mean, sorry, this is it's hanging over my sofa here. So you know, you can just be on the lookout. I used some of my old lace, my old little crochet doilies and some lace hankies, and I actually put like feet on this quilt here, as I had said before. eQuilter.com, I'm repeating myself, but eQuilter.com has the most fantastic selection of wood-grained architectural building fabrics, brick and plaster and stone, river stone, wood, all sorts of wood. And this is one of them. This was a wood-grained looking fabric. I echo stitched, I just free motion quilted an echo stitch around all of the images in the black, and then in the actual images themselves I did an echo stitch like around all of those apples and all around those beans. As I said, I put this into the seam, but I let this hang down, but actually stitched that on a little bit. I stitched that on. so it wasn't hanging too much. This could be a quilt that you could use, but obviously it's a wall hanging, and I actually attach a sleeve that the new person who bought it can just attach a rod. And the molding on the top, I just cut, I fold it in half and just cut into what I thought was like a molding. And then I blanket stitched, with a black thread, I blanket stitched, a wide blanket stitch, the molding onto the black. But it's all just raw edge, free motion quilted. And after the body, the black and the wooden shelves were done, I put all the images, and then I did the sides, and the legs were a little bit, not funky, just, I didn't get them wonderful, but I sort of just did that. Just extended this border and then, you know, put the binding on like that. I machined everything. The backing, which you won't be able to see, but is a real pretty, pretty damask. I like to use pretty fabrics for my backing. I usually get my backing fabrics on sale. I can get like lots of yardage, so I look out for $4 or $5 yard fabric. Then I'll get 6 or 7 yards of it and use it for a pretty backing. So there, I have to say goodbye. I got to say goodbye to my lovely quilt, one of my favorite quilts I've ever made. And I thought, I don't usually do this when I sell a quilt. It took me quite a long time to actually sort of divorce myself from the thought of selling my items. I had given away about 100 quilts when I first started, and my husband was very kind, but he was like, darling, this is a fairly expensive hobby. So it took me about 3 years, actually, because I said no. There's more happiness in giving than there is in receiving, and I like to give my things. But I understood the logic of him supporting me and my hobby. So it took me about 3 years to wrap my head around the fact that, yeah, I can make a quilt and I can sell it. My quilts are not inexpensive. They're not inexpensive, but they certainly don't, the hours and hours and hours that goes into a quilt, as any of you quilters know, you make $2 an hour type of thing, but that's okay. This pays for my hobby. So, and I can help my husband out a little bit. So there is my bookshelf quilt ready to go to its new owner. I just wanted to take one last hurrah of my lovely quilt. Oh yeah, there. That's my husband. Yeah, no. And yes, look at this one. He certainly does. So there you go. There's my lovely little bookshelf quilt. I'm going to make another one. I'll be on the lookout for candlesticks or, telephones or picture frames. Actually, what you can do also, I've done it before, and they have perfected it. You can actually take a photograph of somebody or something and print it on fabric. And then I would add, I think I may do that. Then I could add a pretty ornate frame around it and put it on my shelves here, something like that. So I'll just go in my stash, and I'll keep on the lookout for some more novelty fabrics. But it's a simple quilt, folks. You can do it. Let your imagination go. What I did is I just would very lightly glue down my images after I cut them out raw. I would glue them down, and then I would just raw edge applique, which is just a free motion quilting stitch around the images. Or as in that one, that's a blanket stitch, and then I stitched in all of that. But not hard if you can learn to free motion quilt. It really is freeing, and it sets up a whole new world for you. So anyway, I just thought I'd share my my bookshelf quilt before I actually pack it up and say goodbye. Okay, thanks, folks. Bye.